All right, the Chargers were just linked to not one, but two really interesting trade ideas, and I don't know what to make of it, right? It's June 25th, and sometimes people just throw trades out there for fun, and other times there's actually legs to it. And with this one, I've seen an article almost every single week linking this Chargers player to a trade, and there's been an article almost every week linking a Chicago Bears player to a trade, and I'm just going to go out there and say that I'm wondering if a 1-for-1, maybe at a pick, actually makes some sense in this case. Let's talk about it. Before we get into that, hey, my name is Craig. Me and my buddy Chris started this channel a little over a year ago, and we did it because, quite frankly, well, we're Lions fans, but we enjoy watching the Chargers. And Jim Harbaugh got the coaching job with the Chargers, and all of a sudden it was like, this just makes sense. This is going to become a really good franchise again. And so we wanted to pop in there and see what was going on. So here we are making a channel talking about the Chargers. So thankful you're watching. And now I'm going to ask you a question a little bit. But first, I want to get into these two trade proposals. The first one comes as a player from your team, a player that has never started a snap for your team, and he's already on the trade block. All right? And no, it is not the guy in the front. That is Omarion Hampton. It's the guy behind him, Najee Harris. All right? They obviously, the way they say it is clearly they don't think Harris, his time with LA is guaranteed because they drafted somebody else in front of him. And then they went and they got Rocket Sanders in UDFA, which, by the way, I don't necessarily buy, even though I think Rocket Sanders is going to be a good running back for you. It's three guys that are very similar running backs. And so we look at it, and it's like, okay, is there a world in which you trade Najee Harris? Then I go, and I see another article. All right, and I'm going to bring you to that article in just a second. But I see another article where it's talking about a trade proposal that adds a massive $50 million upgrade for Justin Herbert. And it's coming from the Bears. So I'm thinking to myself, DJ Moore? Okay, that's pretty cool. But no. All right? What it is them saying, all right, and this is off Bleacher Report, the Chargers should consider Cole Kmet as they look to improve Justin Herbert's receiving core. He said he's more dynamic pass catcher than Tyler Conklin or Will Dissly and far more proven than rookie fifth-round pick Oronde Gadsden. I agree. Okay, I agree with everything that's being said there. This is what's interesting. The article will go on to say that Kmet's been one of the better pass-catching tight ends in the NFL during his career. I don't agree with that. But he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been bad, and I want to give you a little idea of what you're getting. All right? This is his yardage total over his, what is now 5-year NFL career. What seems like a consistently underutilized tight end. 243 yards his rookie year, 612 second year, 544 his third year, 719 his fourth year, and 474 yards last year. Over those 5 yards, he's put in 19 touchdowns. He's been targeted 351 times, and he's caught 258 balls. But there's something that I think I want to talk about even more, and it's this. It's his RAS score. All right? He came out as a almost 6'6", 262-pound tight end who could run fast. That is impressive. That is what you are looking for in a tight end. Now, the Bears. Why in the world would the Chicago Bears want to trade him? Well, they could want to trade him for a couple of reasons. One reason is that they'd sign him to a big contract. It was a 4-year extension that goes through 2027, so it still has 3 more years on it. And they have an average, it's a 4-year contract for $50 million. So that's $12.5 million a year. $12.5 million a year. He is the 7th highest paid tight end. They get a new coach, Ben Johnson, in. He immediately, with the 10th pick, not a second-round pick, not a third-round pick, not even a late first-round pick, definitely not a late-round pick, the number 10 overall pick, he goes out and he gets a tight end. Colson Loveland out of U of M. By the way, he's better than Cole Kmet. And so do you want, if you are the Chicago Bears, do you want to pay Cole Kmet $12.5 million a year to be a backup tight end? Not only that, but his dead cap this year, if they trade him, is only $4.8 million. If I'm them, I want to trade Cole Kmet. So here's the question. When you look at the Bears and you look at the Chargers, the Bears right now have DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson at running back. Najee Harris would fit in really, really well to do something that Ben Johnson might enjoy. Ben Johnson was able to have Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit with David Montgomery. All right? Sonic and Knuckles, as they're referred to. Well, if Najee Harris goes to Chicago, he would then have DeAndre Swift. I think I said Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions. I hope I didn't say Swift for the Lions because that would have been a oops. All right? We don't like DeAndre Swift that much in Detroit because he never lived up to his potential. Bears love him, but they haven't had to see the pain. So you got Swift as your Thunder or as your Lightning, and then you bring in Najee Harris kind of as that Thunder. You know what Najee Harris is? He's going to get you 4 yards when you need 3. He's going to get you 4 yards when you need 5. He's going to get you 4 yards when you need 10. If you need 1, he'll get you 4. He's getting you 4 yards. All right, that's who Najee Harris is, and he is an extremely reliable running back. Does it make sense to go 1-for-1 Najee for Cole Kmet? Do the Chargers need to throw in a late-round pick to make that deal happen? I don't know. I would probably do it as a 1-for-1. Cole Kmet, I think, has the ability to be a really good tight end in this league that could absolutely work in the Chargers offense. It makes sense to me. Doesn't make sense to you, and it just seems to fill a need for both teams. Jim Harbaugh loves his tight ends. He loves a good tight end. And right now, they have tight ends that were having the best years of their career last year because it's a tight end-friendly system. All right, when you think about what this system did in Baltimore, this is the same offensive system with the same offensive coordinator they used in Baltimore. Was Mark Andrews good at all in this system? I think he was. And Cole Kmet, I would make the argument, as a receiver, could have the potential to be better than Mark Andrews. He's not, but he has potential just from a pure talent standpoint on the receiving end. So, anyways, makes sense to me. If you enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you part of this community with the Chargers, and we'll see you on the next one.